Good people, what's going on, man? Look, I did a tweet a few days ago saying, you know what, Nas and DJ Premier understand the assignment. They they understand that the expectations are through the roof. This goes back to what almost 20 years ago. Like I think of a couple of Scratch magazine. It's been discussed in the Source magazines back in the day, Double XL, every type of website, Hip Hop DX back in the day. OK Player, we used to talk about it. Everyone fantasized about this album from Nas and DJ Premier. And then when Nas went on this run with Hit Boy, 6 albums, several of them are amazing to me. All of them are good. You know what I mean? For the most part, they just did some wonderful things together, and it posed those questions again. Is Nas going to finally do this album with DJ Premier? Now, the process started already last year. Nas did the joint, What's in the Name or whatever. He talked about it during the concerts. They are working on the album. I think most people know that now. I can say for sure that at one point, just from inside sources, several songs were done, I think, before the new year even started. You know what I'm saying? No, I haven't heard them or anything like that. You're not going to hear them. And for word is, DJ Premier not playing them joints for people like that. Maybe for his core people he really, really rock with. You know what I'm saying? But he's not letting them joints leak. You know what I'm saying? But word on the street is, yes, quite a few songs were done already. Hearing him with the Rock Marcy recently, that's the kind of joints people really want to hear Nas on. You know what I'm saying? So the album is coming this year. You know what I'm saying? They understand the assignment. They understand that, people thought this was going to be like Detox. You know what I'm saying? And never going to come out. But the time is now. So just for conversation, talking about this, and I'm sure that over the next few months, stuff like that, people will talk about when do they think it's going to be released. My theory was it's going to be on Nas' birthday this year. It'll either be Nas' birthday this year, which I believe is in September, or it'll be like a Christmas gift, in December. That's what I think. It could come this spring, it could come this summer. Who knows, man? Nas might have another kind of landmark, drop it on his mom's birthday. You know what I'm saying? And drop it on his father's birthday. Nas is different, man. You know what I'm saying? So it'll probably be some type of landmark date for this album. I don't think it's going to be something random. You know what I'm saying? I believe it'll have some meaning to it. It could come out the same month. Was it April when Illmatic came out? You know what I'm saying? Who knows? And that would be like really, you know what I'm saying, really soon. We're talking about a couple of weeks from now, which I don't believe that's going to happen. I do believe if they're planning to really have the masses see this, it'll be the way Common and Pete Rock did with the Auditorium, and really have a true press run. You know what I'm saying? Really lay it out. Get on some of those night shows, late night shows, and really talk about this journey and things like that. I wouldn't rush that or how can I say, just kind of like release it like the Hit Boy albums was released. Because those are kind of surprises for us, you know what I'm saying? Especially for Nas fans. But this is bigger than just Nas fan. This is a big thing for hip hop, I believe, if this thing delivers, which I believe is going to deliver. Now, somebody today hit me up saying, man, well, who do you think is going to be on the album, man? Because one dude was like, yo, I really want to hear AZ on there. So that would mean so do you want this album to be, like I said, first of all, I think the album should be called The Golden Child. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? My opinion, whatever. But I believe that if they're going for Illmatic feel, having like New York State of Mind Part 3 as the first song, you know what I'm saying? And then, maybe having not called Life's a Bitch, but, a song that's on those lines, then you will want AZ on the album. You know what I'm saying? Do you just want him and that's it? You know what I'm saying? If they're going for Illmatic feel, then it's just AZ. If he's trying to do kind of a blend between Illmatic, It Was Written, Stillmatic type thing or whatever, then maybe you have Pharoah Monch on there, because we know that Nas and Pharoah has so many things in common. Like I've said before, you have, of course, Organized Confusion, Stray Bullet, Nas, I Gave You Power. You had the joint on Equinox for Organized Confusion called In Vitro. Then you had Fetus for Nas. Then you had Undying Love on I Am, and then later on Desire, Pharaoh had his own trilogy. You know what I'm saying? So they've had a lot of similarities, both in Queens. You know what I'm saying? So Pharaoh on a song, you know what I'm saying, on the premiere album will be dope. You know what I'm saying? So maybe AZ and Pharaoh Munch, maybe. You know what I'm saying? Maybe the same way, you know, Lauryn Hill was on KD2 on that joint Nobody. Maybe she doesn't rhyme on this. Maybe the last track is maybe her doing a hook. You know what I'm saying? Maybe Mary J. Blige doing a hook. So maybe I'll do this. I think I would call the album Golden Child, which, I mean, that's just me having fun with it. But anyway, I would have AZ as a guest. I would have Pharoah Monch as a guest. And I might have Lauryn Hill and Mary J. Blige doing 2 hooks on the album, 14 songs. You know what I'm saying? That's what I kind of would like to see, man. But what would you guys like to see? You know what I'm saying? Like any like surprise guests, you know what I'm saying, outside of what I'm talking about? Or would you just scrap what I'm saying, have all new people? Would you have someone like a Kendrick Lamar on the album? Would you have somebody like a J. Cole on the album? You know, he did do that Let Nas Down back in the day, I think on Born Center, and then Nas did the remix with him. Man, did a dope verse for him too, you know what I'm saying? So would you maybe have somebody like Cole who will understudy to Nas? You know, would you have a Kendrick maybe who will do that, since they did show some love to each other? Kendrick doing that Man in the Garden on GNX, and then Nas turning around and posting that on IG, basically saying, "Yo, King, you inspire me," etc., etc. You know, because you know it's kind of one mic feel to it, but there's a lot of things they can do with it. But I do think they'll keep it simple either way. It won't be this long list of guests on every other song. Nas don't even rock like that. You know, so if you think about the way he did his last 6 albums, there weren't a lot of guests. You know what I'm saying? You might have 1 or 2 on each album, but it wasn't flood. Or maybe, well, I think KD one had they had the Firm on there, and I think well, even had people on some albums, but not flooded. You know, nothing like that. Nas never been really big on that. So I think they will keep it simple. I think it'll be the boom bap people really been craving and wanting. Man, what do you guys think, man? That's kind of my quick take on that, man. So we'll see, man. Thanks for supporting the Dome, man. Hopefully some really big things coming in 2025, man. Peace.